Good morning, welcome to Garden Wise Adventures. My name is Malie, and today I wanted to show you a little bit about what I do with my banana peppers once I harvest them. Now I love pickled peppers, I love them on everything. So let me show you, number one, first a little bit about how to grow them, and then second, what we do with them once we harvest them. So here we have my banana peppers. They are a sweet variety. They're really delicious. Some of them get quite big. And here's a good sized one down here. Some of them get bigger than that. But you can tell they're ripe when, of course, they develop this beautiful yellow color and they don't have green in them anymore. So let's get harvesting and see how many we can get off these plants. Now we've got a good number of these. Let's take them inside and I'll show you what I do. Well, welcome back. We are in my kitchen now, and I have all my peppers here that I picked, and they're washed. And I'll put the recipe for the pickled peppers that I found down below. But basically all it is 3 cups of vinegar. I just use the regular vinegar you get at the grocery store. And then there are 2 cups of water. Let me see if I can remember here. 2 tablespoons of kosher salt and 1 tablespoon of sugar. Now the kosher salt looks like this, and it's used because it doesn't have iodine in it. Now I do want you to keep in mind that I am not an expert canner. If you want to learn about canning, you do need to go to an official site, learn more about canning. What I do may or may not be the approved methods. So with that out of the way, the one thing I forgot to talk about is also the garlic. And here we have my homegrown garlic. We're going to take about 7 cloves of this, because you need 1 clove per pint jar, and I'm assuming we can get more or less than 7 pint jars out of what I have here. So we're going to just take this apart. There we have more or less 7 cloves of garlic to be chopped up. Let's get these chopped up, and then we'll be ready to start cutting into our peppers. So now we have our peppers. Some people like to just chop them up into chunks. I kind of like to have them be rounds. They're kind of pretty that way. So I'm going to show you how I do that. First, you cut the top off. You have the core in there. Take my handy dandy little chopstick, and then I go around it all the way down to the bottom. Pull out the core, knock out the seeds, and there you have a clean pepper that can be done into rounds. Let's do another one. See? Completely round, cleaned out pepper. Now I'm not going to bore you because this takes quite a while to get done. I'm going to turn off the video cameras and come back when we're done. So I've chopped up most of the peppers, and now I'm just going to show you how I do it. It's very simple and easy. You just chop them into thin rounds. And I'm not an expert, so mine aren't as clean and pretty as some. Okay, there we're done. That honestly takes the most time, is the coring and the chopping of the banana peppers. So right now I'm going to show you what I did to the jars to get them ready. So the jars are washed and sterilized. The lids are in warm water so that it softens the rubbery stuff around the edges. I don't know what that's called. And now we're ready to add the rest of the ingredients. That's just the vinegar. And it just needs to be hot and boil once. So we're going to add our water. which will cool it down a little bit. Then we add the sugar. And then we add the salt. Now we'll just let that come to boiling and then turn that way down. The mixture is all boiling. The jars have been sterilized. We're going to work pretty quickly here so that nothing cools down. We're going to put as many peppers as I can. We're going to leave a 1/2 inch head space in these jars. We'll see how many I get. Last time I got 6 quarts, but I think this one will be a little bit less. Now I'm just guessing on the garlic. And it looks like we did just get 4 pints. 4 packed pints, that is. And I love garlic, so we can actually even use all of it if we want. Which I might just do. Let's just pack in the garlic here. There, those are done. These will be unused. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take these over and put the liquid in it. Then we're going to push these down into the juice. Make sure there's no air bubbles. Very important part, wipe off the lid so that we get a good seal. Put the warm lid on. Try not to burn our fingers. Don't tighten this round thing. I don't know what it's called. I don't know all the terminology, but don't tighten that down too tight. Get it ready to be processed. Now, all the recipes that I found for these say not to process them, just to let the warmth of the liquid seal the jars. But from what I've heard, you really do need to process all canning jars. So I'm going to process them for about 5 minutes, which may or may not be enough. That's why you need to go to a regular canning site to learn about the proper ways to do canning. There we go. They are ready to be processed. We're going to, well, I'll turn this up again. Once it starts boiling, we'll start processing for 5 minutes. So thank you for joining me on this kitchen adventure. I'm not an expert, but I've decided that I'm going to do 2 or 3 videos on how I handle my garden produce, and I'll put them in a playlist. So today was the first one, pickled peppers. Next time we're going to show you how I use my extra tomatoes and onions. It's going to be a lot of fun, and until we meet again, I hope you have a wonderful garden adventure.